Friends, I'm going to tell you a story about the Dutchman's Curve train wreck. I'm in Belle Meade in Nashville, just outside of Nashville, and this was the deadliest train wreck in U.S. history. It occurred here on July the 9th, 1918, when two crowded trains collided head-on at Dutchman's Curve. The impact caused passenger cars to derail into surrounding cornfields, and fires broke out throughout the wreckage. Over 100 people died, including many African-American workers journeying to work at the munitions plant near Old Hickory. Not far from here, friends. We're going to see if we can find it.
So let's talk first about this munitions plant. It was actually a gunpowder plant that DuPont built and operated the plant as well. It was not finished until November the 11th, 1918, which was after this train crash. The War Department, the federal government, paid all the construction costs, which was approximately $83 million, and that's in 1918 money. And DuPont received $1 in compensation. They didn't actually get paid for any of that stuff. The Old Hickory gunpowder plant was the largest munitions plant in the world at the time of operation, 1918 to 1919, occupying 4,700 acres and producing 500,000 pounds of gunpowder every single day. And that's where these a lot of these people on the train were on their way to work at this plant.
So the track that they were on, these are the abutments that were on the track, and they say that these abutments are aged, they think, even before the Civil War. So that wreck happened. More than 100 people lost their lives that day, friends. And this is a golf course now. Back then it was a cornfield.
But one of the people that died that's very notable is a man named Willis Ferris. His son got a settlement from the train company, and he actually started Third National Bank, which ended up becoming SunTrust.
That track up there is a different track than the one the crash happened on. So that train track ran along in here. See the rise right there. So it would have been lower down like this instead of way up there. So there is the old where the old train tracks went across. You can see the new ones are a lot higher, but that's it. You can see it went right through there. That looks like a, was that a cannonball down there? Can't be out in the open like that. Wonder if you metal detected out here, if you'd find a bunch of train stuff. I bet you would.
So here's what happened. The Memphis-Atlanta train left Memphis. They call that train number 1. And then the local train leaving Union Station downtown Nashville heading to Memphis left. That train was supposed to wait on the double tracks until the first train coming from Memphis passed and then go. And somehow they got their signals crossed and didn't wait. So the two trains were facing each other, one running about 60, one running about 50. Which if you do the math, when they hit, they're hitting it over 100 miles an hour combined. And this is actually before that bridge that you see above is White Bridge Road. And so this is on the far side of White Bridge Road, so that would be on the west side. They would go under that bridge right there in a blind curve and crash just on the other side of it, which would be right about here where I'm pointing at in this area. And you can see how flat this is and how much lower it is than the current train tracks. This is a picture of the actual crash, and you can see those tracks are not very far off of the ground where the cornfields are on either side. Now, they would have you believe that it was further down on the other side of the creek, but it was actually right here in this area. This is the Nashville, Tennessean on the 10th of July. 121 persons are killed and 57 injured in train collision. That number actually went down at some point, but the destruction was so bad that they didn't really know, and they estimate that as many as 40,000 people came to help recover the people and save people, and to gawk and to help with all kind of stuff. Now, 40,000 is a lot of people, but that's what some of the things that you read say. Some even say 50,000. So I decided to fly the Glory so you could kind of get a bird's eye view. You see the White Bridge Road bridge out in the distance, and remember the train was coming this way from Memphis under the bridge, and they hit in the curve just on the left-hand side, just where the screen is going at the bottom of the screen down the train tracks. Right about there is where they crashed at, where the screen is touching the train tracks. So now you know, friends. The most deadly train crash in the history of the United States happened right there on that train track in that area. Where that train track is, just to the left of it on this side of it, is about where the tracks were at that time. Thanks so much for watching, and tighten up every chance you get.